So I'm thinking about Planet of the Apes, and I'm just like, with this new one coming out, I'm so excited, and it's just amazing. I'm so excited, and I'm thinking about Cornelius. I was really excited to get this Cornelius movie, and it turns out that we're not gonna get it. So I'm kind of hurt about it, but also I'm just like, they got something here. It's very interesting. But so I was thinking, like, how could they get to this point where people are using Caesar's name in a way of teachings that are more aligned with Koba? You know, the teachings are very anti-human, and it's not Caesar at all. He's very peaceful, and we've seen it through his movies of how he grew and his humanity, and he was very human-like throughout all those movies. And even in the last movie, where it was a movie about losing humanity, it was still a very human story, and it ends in such a beautiful way where he sacrifices himself to lead to his people getting to the promised land. A very biblical ending. And he ends up, after 300 years in this new Planet of the Apes, where his movies are teaching of being anti-human. And it's very interesting. So I was really thinking about, like, how could this be possible? And I was just thinking, like, well, what happened to Cornelius? What if Cornelius went bad? What if he went to the dark side? I think that's possible. Like, think about it. His mom, his brother died from humans, and then his dad was killed by humans as well, in the hopes of bringing apes to a better place away from humans. Like, that could put a lot of negative feelings of humans towards a child. Then, of course, he has Maurice and Rocket, but as we saw with Blue Eyes, or Bright Eyes, he could be manipulated to someone like Koba. And there's still followers of Koba at this time. It's very, very possible that maybe a descendant of Koba, or maybe just followers of Koba, start preaching anti-human teachings to young Cornelius, and he ends up growing to hate humans, and maybe he has 2 kids. I planned this way out. Like, I was really thinking about this. Like, what if he has 2 kids? One kid, like, just listened to the teachings of Rocket and Maurice, and he felt like very connected with the human side, and felt like he'd be very passionate about humans and peace. While the other son was very enthralled with the anti-human and the corruptedness of Koba's teachings, as well as the great war and sacrifice of his grandfather fighting the human war. It could be very leadership worthy, especially if we get something connected with, like, the allies of Koba. We could see, like, this Proximus Caesar could be a descendant of Koba in this next movie. I believe that they're the same kind of apes, so it'd be very interesting if that's what they were going for. Also, is, I believe, the same type as Rocket. Not sure about that, but that'd be also a very interesting twist if it was a descendant from one of the top guys in Caesar's corner. It would be a very interesting turnaround, and see the evolution. I mean, the apes usually last around 40 years. 30 divided by 40 is like 7.5. So 7 or 8 generations of people passing along. Say there was this great family divide of Cornelius' children, with one teachings of humans are good, let's not bother them, where humans are bad, we need to kill and destroy them and enslave them. And with the de-evolution of humans, with the evolution of apes, it could be a very dynamic imbalance, to where it was very easy for one side to not care and forget about humans in general, where they're decided, and they forget about Caesar, and they forget about Koba, and they forget about this great war, where they live alone in isolation, where this other group are filled with hate and they're constantly attacking and enslaving these humans while they're praising Caesar as this great leader, but really using the teachings and corruption of Koba. I don't know. Very interested. I'm very excited to see how they explain the 300-year gap in between War of the Planet of the Apes and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I'm very interested to see if they have any ancestry going on. I know that Caesar is very important to the Approximate Caesar. He uses his name, saying that he is the acclaimed new Caesar. They use his symbol in the window, which has been in every single movie. Like, that was Caesar's symbol. Everyone knows and recognizes it as Caesar. So it's very interesting to see how his teachings got so flipped and so backwards, and why they use him in such a high regard, and how we believe that Noah is an ancestor of Caesar. How can an ancestor of Caesar have no idea anything about his great grandfather, while other people are praising him as a god and using his name to attack humans? It's very interesting. I'm very excited to see the movie. May 10th. I mean, what is that? 2 weeks now? Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm very hyped. I'm very interested to see. I hope I can see it as soon as possible.